are you using AI generated content or a template you found online to govern your legal relationships as a business owner? And wondering if these documents in fact serve to protect your business interests. My name is Ramesh Chatterjee. I'm a lawyer for over a decade now here in Ontario. And in this video, I'm going to share with you some of the reasons why you should be very worried about using AI content or a document you found online as a basis to govern your legal relationships between one business and another. By way of background, like I said, practiced for over a decade. And one of the things that clients have more recently come to me about is helping them understand what makes a contract drafted by a lawyer better than something that's created through artificial intelligence or something they found online. And I think the first piece of advice I would give to them is that the value of a lawyer is tailoring a legal document to the business circumstances, right? And what you find online and what you get through artificial intelligence, you actually don't know for sure if they're actually relevant to whatever to your business. A template online is tailored for a specific set of characteristics, right? Some contracts you find online are, let's say, pro-employer. Some others are pro-employee. You as a business owner may not understand or may not be able to identify which is which. When it comes to artificial intelligence content, AI is only as good as the information you're providing it. So if you provide bad information, you're going to get bad output. And so those are a couple of reasons why you should be worried about this sort of like AI stuff. More importantly, however, and more substantively, over the long term, this type of approach could lead to really expensive problems because there's the danger of inconsistencies, right? There's conflict between one type of document and another, right? You might have an employment contract that will talk about what to expect when the termination is to happen. And your employee handbook might say something different. Another case in point, supplier agreements. Oftentimes, when an agreement is simply a written understanding of or written consensus of how a relationship is to proceed under, right? So if you have a supply agreement that says one thing, but you have an invoice that says another, then you've got mismatched expectations. That's when expensive conflicts happen. And this was, in fact, really apparent in a case I was recently on where there was a case where the binding supply agreement had different terms than the invoices. And as a result, it turned into a $40,000 legal mess, something that could have been fixed for less than $1,000, right? And so I guess what I would caution you is that over time, these sorts of things do matter. Yes, you might save money using AI or legal templates initially, but over the long term, if you don't have someone reviewing these documents, it could lead to really expensive messes. Another way, actually a really common example of this is a business owner will download and use a template that's more relevant to an American jurisdiction, and which an American jurisdictions, they allow for this thing called at-will termination, where an employer can terminate an employee and not pay any notice to them. In Ontario, that's not legal. And if that sort of provision is there, it could turn into an expensive mess. Another really good example, a couple of years ago, employers were found to have the legal obligation to ensure that their contracts did not have termination provisions that are void. And if you have a void termination provision, you had to pay more in terms of a notice period. And it's surprising how often I still get and review contracts that have void termination provisions, which mean that the employer is on the hook for thousands more dollars, and tens of thousands more dollars, right? So that's at a really high level, right? From a practical level, what I was asking you to do and suggest you do, if you in fact have been using AI to generate legal documents or using templates, is take out documents in a similar area. So let's say if it's, let's say, an employment relationship, we'll pull out the employment contract or your handbook and compare the two to see which of these documents, or if there are any inconsistencies or conflicts between these two documents. Identify that. And the more inconsistencies there are, the more likely it is you might need to talk to a lawyer to have this inconsistencies addressed. That's one way to do it. Another piece that you might want to do is look for signs that these documents are in fact relevant to Ontario, or to your jurisdiction if you're not Ontario, right? So if you're looking at an agreement and it says something like this contract is going to be interpreted according to the laws of New York, and you live in Ontario, guess what? You've got a problem there, right? So make sure that whatever you're doing, you're creating documents and your documents are relevant to the jurisdiction that you're operating in. This sounds like a whole bunch of gobbledygook, but the fact of the matter is that this video is really highlighting something that I think a lot of business owners should be more mindful of as they use new technology like artificial intelligence. Now, obviously, if you think that our services could be of assistance, we're happy to help you. When I founded Signal Lawyers, I founded it based on a commitment to leverage technology to deliver more value to clients, and that value being minimizing risks, solving problems, and managing legal processes. More recently, we've started embedding AI into a legal service we call AI enhanced lawyering. And what that looks like is stuff like contract checklist generators, legal audits, and all that type of stuff. If you think any of these could be of value to you, feel free to send us a message. And if you like this video, you think that this video could be of relevance to somebody else, please just share it. Do the social media thing, like, share, follow, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. And I hope this video does have value to you. I'm going to do more of these videos talking about different things that I'm seeing in my practice. And if you want more of that, obviously give us a follow. We'll chat soon. Cheers.